We have a giant UFC pay-per-view.
An Angelo-sized UFC event.
Oh, my God.
Redoing it. I don't mind the jokes. Don't interrupt. Kills the flow. We have a giant pay-per-view next weekend. We have UFC 264, Dustin Poirier versus Conor McGregor 3. We're doing an early betting guide. Some lines are out, some props are out, and we're hopping on some of these early. So we're going to walk through every single one of our early bets, what we like, what we don't like, and we're going to talk in units. So we're going to go through this. We're going to tell you our bets, what we're doing. We're not telling you what to do with your money. We're just showing you what we are doing with our money. I will go first. I only have 4. There was only 4 lines that I liked early. I am waiting for a bunch of prop bets, a bunch. There's a whole bunch of plus 3.5s I'm looking for. There's a whole bunch of wins by stoppage, decision equals no action I'm looking for. But right now, I'm very confident in my 2 money line picks. I have Yana Kunitskaya at minus 107, essentially easy or even money. And then I have Tai Tuivasa. So Yana Kunitskaya, I talked about that in the individual breakdown video. She has so many tools to win this fight. She's got kicks. She has takedowns. She's the more versatile striker. And she's in for a really tough fight here. But I do think she gets it done. She definitely has more tools in her bag, and she just needs to avoid the big, heavy power punches coming her way, which I think she will do easily, and I'm happy to get pretty much even money on that. And then I threw 2 full units at Tai Tuivasa. I just think this is an incredible mismatch. Incredible mismatch. I think Greg Hardy is an unbelievable athlete. He's got power. He's massive. But Tai Tuivasa is a legitimate heavyweight who has fought some of the best people on the planet in that division and does well. I mean, he's got legitimate kickboxing skills. He has takedowns if he needs them. He has an absolute granite chin. I think this is a wild mismatch. So I have 2 full units on that. He's minus 137 now. There's no way we are the only people onto that. So I would jump on this line now because I will not be surprised if he's a minus 200, minus 250 come next weekend. So go to wewantpicks.com/bets, grab yourself a promo there and hop on that line early. And then I only have 2 prop bets right now. I did our full breakdown yesterday. Dustin Poirier won the last fight. But if you watch that fight, and Dan and I are going to disagree here. If you watch that fight, Conor McGregor touched Dustin whenever he wanted to. That first round, he pieced Dustin up. And then he started to slow down and his legs turned to jello. And then that was the end of it. I think Conor will be prepared for the leg kicks. I think he'll be in better shape. And I am not necessarily confident in a money line just yet, but I did grab Conor wins by KO, TKO at plus 150. I'll get some plus odds on that. And that's the only way he's going to win this fight. He's not going to win a decision. There's no way he can out-decision Dustin Poirier. He's not going to submit Dustin. So I have KO, TKO at plus 150. I put a unit on that. And if you want more info, just go to the individual breakdown video and get some insight there. And then the last thing I have here is the Tavares-Akhmedov fight goes the distance. So I have Akhmedov winning that fight. I think his wrestling will get that done. With that being said, Brad Tavares is as tough as they come. He's going to defend a good majority of those takedowns early. So I think that fight goes to a decision. I'm very confident that goes to a decision. So I did minus 200. If you look at the odd or the round prop bet, the over 2.5 rounds, that was like minus 350. So, all right, I'll get another 2.5 minutes in there and I'll just do minus 200. So I'm pretty confident in that. These are my early picks. As soon as those props are out, we'll jump on those. We'll get you guys an update. There's a couple 3.5s I'm looking for.
I got a quick question about one of your bets.
Sure.
The Conor McGregor KO TKO. Do you think that he gets a second round TKO? Are you just trying to cover everything? Because it sounded like in the bet breakdown that you were like first round or bust. So I'm just wondering why you wouldn't just take the first round.
I'm covering everything.
Very good point, Jacob.
It is a good point. You guys know me. All my bets are like super conservative. I don't chase the giant odds. I just go with what I'm pretty sure is going to happen. So yeah, I probably could have gotten better odds if I did Conor wins by KO, TKO in the first and in the second. and then lose
That's
one of them.
about it.
That's plus 450 in the first and plus 700 in the second.
That's
Yeah,
about it.
And you know, right? That's probably the play, right? A half a unit on each one of those instead of a full unit on this. That's probably the play, the smarter move. But you know, if he
And
wins,
you could get
this is how he does it.
First
Nobody
round.
said you were smart,
Yeah,
get
well, that is true.
Connor
They've just
first
seen
round-
my successes the last few weeks,
Oh.
and they know that I know what I'm talking about.
Well, Connor first round submission is plus 2,800, which is a very
That's a Jacob bet right there.
There it is. He
Yeah,
saw it
it is.
embedded. He was
Matt.
practicing guillotines.
yeah, very interesting.
All right, so let's move to you, Danny boy. Why don't you go ahead and walk us through? This is the early betting guide. If anybody was wondering how much of a degenerate Dan actually is, the fight, they didn't even drop the prop lines yet. The only props we have.
I've been
for the
calling
main event.
casinos. I'm like, hey, you got anything? You take any action yet?
So why don't you walk us through this, and then later we'll talk about if your kids are going to get a college education.
I'm going to be in Denver this weekend too, and I'm pretty sure they have live sports books there. It's going to be a problem. And I only booked it one way, so at this point, I don't know how long I'm going to be there. I like to keep things open-ended in case I go on a heater. All right, so money line bets. I got the same as you, Angelo, tied to Ivasa. I think this is going to be – listen, Hardy's live in the first round. He's athletic. He's powerful. But after that, he fades, and he's done that every fight. He's got asthma or whatever the issue is. But he fades as time goes on, and Tuivasa's got a ton of experience, a granite chin, and he's also very good. So to get him at pretty close to even, minus 135 for one unit, unless he gets stopped with a big shot in the first round, I see him winning this fight. And I'm going to look for a prop bet later on here for a finish in like round 3, see what the odds look like there, because I could see in the second or third if Hardy hasn't gotten a knockout, getting tired, and getting finished. Then I got Michel Pereira, minus 155, so I got a unit and a half on this. Listen, I think this kid is uber talented. His biggest problem has been, is he going to be a fighter or is he going to do the whole circus act routine? The last fight we saw him, he looked like a fighter. I also know he's relocated to Vegas for this fight. It may have been for last fight as well too, but this kid's got all the skills, all the talent, all the tools. And if he comes out and fights I don't even want to say, just a disciplined fight, I think he's going to win this fight, and I think he's much better than Nico Price. So I actually like him at these odds a lot. Then we got some prop bets. So you can see here, I'm going big for my man Poirier. I do not think this fight goes 5 rounds. And honestly, I don't think this fight goes that much differently than the last fight. I think McGregor, I'll give him credit. He makes adjustments. He did it in the Diaz 2 fight. But let's be honest, he's not a 5-round fighter. And in a lot of fights, he's barely a 3-round fighter. Certain body types, just the conditioning is very hard to make you be fresh for 5 rounds. Poirier is battle tested over 5 rounds. He's got a great chin. We saw it the last fight. Like you said, he got touched up by McGregor in that first round, and he was still in there. And I think it's, again, as long as he avoids that big shot in the first round, maybe a little bit in the second, I think he's going to dominate this fight. I also think if he grapples early, clinches, grapples, gets that lactic acid to build up in McGregor, similar to what he did in the first fight. There was just a few scarier moments than I wanted to see in the first one. But listen, I think he's got a road to success here. I don't want to say easily, but I think it's a very, very clear path to victory. And I like him getting the finish. So you can see here with my props, wins inside the distance, plus 140. Then I went 3-4-5 at pretty crazy odds, 10-1, 14-1, and 22-1. And that's really based off of, like I said, McGregor will make some adjustments. He'll be in better shape. So I think in this fight, he'll survive probably through the second round. But even in that DS2 fight, when he was well prepared or whatever, did his whole conditioning, dude, there were points in that fight where he was literally running away. He was tired. And that was like the 3rd or 4th round. Jacob, you're shaking your head. It happened. Watch the tape.
It did happen, but he always catches like a second wind, like late, like middle 4th round into the 5th, and he looked decent in that late 4th round and 5th round. I think he won the 5th round. So
I agree. That was the most impressed I've ever been with Conor McGregor in any fight, because he toughed it out, and I agree. I thought he won the fight too. A lot of people went both ways.
Well,
with
he
it,
definitely won the fight. But.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Some people will
I
say
mean, you are
Diaz.
right. At the end of the second, into the third round, you're like, oh God. And he was running away, and Nate's pointing at him like, where are you going, buddy?
Right. But the difference between Nate Diaz and Poirier is the same
Poirier's actually
volume,
good.
the same aggression, but the power is different.
Well,
Diaz is peppering him with shots, staying on, that spot where he had him up against the cage, just blitzing him with, the Diaz, I don't want to say, the Stockton slap punches. Poirier's hitting you with big hooks. So, I could see a finish here, 3, 4, and 5. And then I also just, I know Poirier is very good at submissions, and he doesn't usually have to show it because he's so willing to stand and bang. But let's assume he's going to go for takedowns in this fight. Let's say he gets one and there's a scramble. Very live for a guillotine. He could get his back, a Darce choke. So at plus 750, I like the value there. So I got a ton riding on this. And if Dustin Poirier wins in the 5th round by sub, I'm going to Abu Dhabi for Glover's. I'm actually going to Abu Dhabi for Glover's fight anyways, but that'll just pay for it.
That means I'm going to Abu Dhabi.
Yeah, Jacob, if Dustin,
let's go, Dustin.
If Dustin Poirier, well, that's not fair because Angelo's got to come too. Angelo, you want to go to Abu Dhabi?
There's a 0% chance my wife lets me go to Abu Dhabi to watch Glover fight. No way. Or she'll be like, kids are coming, and then what the hell's the point?
I haven't really checked with my wife yet, so I may just have to ask for forgiveness instead of permission on this one.
Hold on. Hey, babe.
Jacob, don't wake your dog up. He's not going to answer this right now.
Babe. She must have stepped out.
She's getting a pack of cigarettes 10 years ago.
She's still going to get some milk, I think.
She'll be back, Jake. Don't worry.
Babe.
Oh, man. Okay.
And
all
then
right. So
parlays.
Sorry, yes. Dustin Poirier going to get that finish, and Jacob's getting a private jet to Abu Dhabi. Parlays. So I got Tuivasa, Aldana, and Akhmedov. I did this one early, plus 697. 7-1 odds. We talked about Tuivasa. I think Aldana is going to win this fight. I think she's a little faster, got more power. Listen, it's a close fight. I just have a feeling that she's going to win this fight. And then Akhmedov, we talked about. He's got power in his hands. He's got wrestling, and he had that close loss to Chris Weidman, but it was like afterwards people forgot that Chris Weidman was champion of the world at one point. So he fought the champion of the world to a very, very, very close fight that some people say he won. So he's also at ATT now. I know he's training and very good, so I like him. I put him in a parlay, and then I did my ATT parlay here. So we got Poirier, Zumagulov. Actually, Angelo, we got to label this next time. ATT parlay. All 3 ATT fighters are going to get some W's here. Zumagulov is a heavy favorite. He's down here training now. He's got very good striking. I thought he looked pretty good in his last fight, too, against a tough opponent. He's got some takedowns in his back pocket, and he's also down here training and just improving every day. So, and then Akhmedov we talked about. So those are my parlays. I got a unit on each of those at some pretty good odds. This is just the beginning, guys. All week, we have a full week to make more bets. We haven't even seen some of the props come out. So this might be a 3-pager by the end of.
It's definitely people are gonna see the true you by the end of this. So I will say I love the case you made for Dustin, and I 100% agree with you. Dustin has more ways to win. He's the better wrestler. He's not the better striker, but he can hang in the striking department. He's the more versatile striker. He's the tougher guy. He has the better cardio. Conor McGregor just touched him whenever he wanted to. I thought he was going to and we all picked Dustin to win the last fight, and he did. But while watching it, I'm like, oh my God, Conor's going to put him away here. So that's why that Conor, but with more preparation coming off of a loss, it makes me nervous. But the case you made is great. I love both your parlays here are pretty solid. The Aldana one is the one that makes me nervous, though, because I picked Kunitskaya, and you saw that with the.
It's a close fight. It's
Dan missed the easy pattern that we saw for the Aldana fight.
Oh, I missed the pattern. You should let me know.
They both fought Caitlin Vieira, and they both beat Caitlin Vieira, but Aldana KO'd her, and Kunitskaya only won a decision. So I love.
Well, then he didn't miss the pattern. Then that means he got the pattern because he's with you on Aldana.
He got it without realizing it. But.
I went with Kunitskaya. So either way. Those are our bets and
Oh, I
breakdown.
can't talk about bets?
Go ahead. You don't have any
slide,
because you're broke. Go ahead.
Well, I was just going to go
Jeez
through.
Louise.
Go through one by one here and just tell you exactly what's going to happen for every fight. So the main event, Conor wins by the first
We're
round.
not doing that.
The co-main event, Steven, is a decision. Greg Hardy first round.
All right, we're not doing that.
I like
no way.
O'Malley.
Let him
in the
go.
first
Let him
round.
go. Let's just see.
I like Carlos Condit to win a decision. I like Nico Price and Pereira to go inside the distance. I don't know who's going to win that fight. Trevin Giles, I like him to win a decision. Ryan Hall definitely inside the distance by submission. Get all those bets you can.
We may have to edit
Maya
this
and
out.
I have no idea. Omari, I like him by decision probably. I like Jerome Rivera by decision. And then Allen by first round finish.
Dude, Jerome Rivera.
I don't even think that was the year. Are you confused right now? Are you like, what's going on over there?
Big miss. But anyway, that's our early betting breakdown. We will be back with the prop bets. We will be back with with everything else. But jump on some of these lines early. That Taya Tuivasa one, hit it now. That will move in the wrong direction if that's who you like. So go to WeWantPicks.com/bets. Grab one of those options. There's plenty of match options for you. After you sign up, reach out and we will send you money as a thank you. We'll send you $20, Venmo, Cash App, PayPal, however you want it. Sign up, WeWantPicks.com/bets. Let us know after you did. We'll go ahead and get you your money, and comment down below which bets you like best and which ones you are playing for UFC 264.